Mask.
It's got to be 6 foot wide.
Mm-hmm.
You have direct flurry of cable in there.
Okay. Are you gonna be upstairs in about 20 minutes? I could come back out there. I'll have to get on this.
Go ahead, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, I'll probably, it shouldn't be no more than a
But
half an hour.
nobody knows what happened. I'll find out.
I'll try to speak
All
to.
right, thank you.
All right, okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We've still got a couple of people coming in, but we're going to get started in a minute.
Oh, this is a joy. Did y'all hear my conversation?
A little bit, yes.
Oh, a little bit or a lot?
Nothing bad. It was nothing bad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I wasn't on mute.
We've all been there.
Yep.
Okay, I think we have the whole gang here, so I'm going to get started just by calling the meeting to order and doing a roll call to record the members that are present. DPW?
We're here.
Parks and Parkways?
We're here.
HDLC? VCC? HDLC? I see Tracy, but I don't hear her. And I see Renee, but I don't hear her.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm here.
Okay. Sewage and Water Board?
Here.
Safety and Permits?
Here.
CPC?
Here.
Okay, I think that's everyone except for the applicant. Is there anyone?
Sorry, did you say Nord? Nord is on here.
Nord? Ah, Nord. Hey, David, how are
Yeah.
you?
I'm fine. I'm here. I'm here. Sorry, I had a phone call. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I don't think any of these 3 items involves a Nord facility, so if you want to bail, that's totally fine.
Okay. Well, appreciate it. May listen for a little bit and see how it goes.
No problem. Okay. So Catherine, I think all 3 of these are with you, but we'll start with item number 1, request for servitude of air and ground rights for awnings over the Mystery and Maurepas Street right-of-way adjacent to the 3rd Municipal District, Square 1554, Lot Y or B, by Anthony Caruso. The municipal address of the property, 1406 Mystery Street. I'm going to pull up, I know there were multiple pages in the plan, and I really do apologize because Ashley Givens, who is our encroachments manager, is out sick today, so I'm not as familiar with either of these 3. So hopefully you can help us, hone in on the encroachments specifically. So let me get started pulling them up. Hold on one second. Okay, so Catherine, do you want to just take it away and let me know if you need a different page of this or a different spot? I'm on page 1.
Okay, it's very simple. The drawings speak for themselves. There's an awning over the garage door on Maurepas Street. And then there's an awning over the gate entry into the exterior space on Mystery Street, and also an awning over the front door, which is already there.
There's already a stoop there.
Yeah, well, there's not there's already a stoop there, and we're adding an awning to match the other awning. So there's a total of 3 awnings onto public property. The stoops are already existing on Mystery Street, and one of them is just adding an awning over it. You could see them in elevation.
On page 2.
Yes, on the next sheet.
Okay. So one quick question that I had, and again, I apologize, Ashley Givens isn't here, and normally she'd be, you know, sort of on top of this, but with the holiday and people being in and out, I'm just trying to understand the dimensions of the awnings.
Okay.
Because they're different dimensions in terms of the distance from the property line, and that's shown here on page 2, right?
Well, if you go to sheet A4, you can see the aesthetics of them better, but the dimensions would be on the roof plan and on the floor plans. But okay, that's the structural you're in right now. But we're going to tell you what the dimensions are there right here in the drawings.
It looked like one was, I guess there were 2 measurements on page 1.
One of them is the one on the garage, which is facing Maurepas, is 2'2" by approximately 9 feet wide. And it's the terracotta tile. And then the 2 that are on Mystery Street, one of which is over a gate and one of which is over the front door. The one over the gate is 2'10" by approximately 6 feet wide, and it is also the terracotta tile.
Okay.
And the one over the front door is, let's see, we're having to zoom in, excuse me, is 2'0" by approximately 12 feet wide.
Okay.
And then the other one is existing. There's an existing 4th awning that is over the other stoop closest to Esplanade Avenue.
Okay. So that's this one here that's shown as 2 feet.
Yes.
Can you see my mouse? And then
Yes,
the
I
other
can.
one, 2 feet 10.
Yes.
And then the length of these is shown on page 1. Is that accurate?
I don't know that we called out the dimension, but they're drawn to scale, and that's why I was giving you approximate. There, one's 12 feet, one's 6 feet.
Okay. Yeah, just going forward, it helps us a lot. If, I mean, from my department's perspective, we're concerned with the square footage. So
we'll add those. We'll add it and have it to you today.
okay. That's all the questions that I had. Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
This is part of the Esplanade Historic District. So they have been to the commission and were granted conceptual approval. I believe we're waiting for final drawings at this time.
Yeah, you've received the final drawings. Y'all are reviewing them right now. HDLC is currently reviewing the final drawings now for some weeks.
Okay.
Just quick question, mainly for Louis and Kai. I take it you're asking for the repair of the sidewalk and fixing the curb. Is that correct?
We weren't going to do that. No. We
I
weren't.
didn't. I'm sorry. The question was to DPW.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the question is, are we asking them to
Repair
curb?
the sidewalk and fix the curb? Yes, because right now I'm not sure if it's a rollover curb or just an extended driveway the whole length of the site.
Are you talking about at
It's
the
an
corner?
extended, hi, I'm sorry, I'm Corinne Caruso. It's a driveway on Maurepas, the whole length of the site.
And usually DPW asks for, just a driveway and a repair of the sidewalk and, reestablishment of the curb. And so I'm just checking with DPW to see, because anyway.
Yes, I actually thought. Right. So the issue is that so this is a whole new construction here. Normally, this wouldn't be with the encroachment necessarily, but it'd be with the new building in the first place. We would address this, but you will have to bring the sidewalk. Anytime you're building something, you have to bring the sidewalk up to a state of good repair. The sidewalk currently is not in a state of good repair. And then city ordinance requires that any driveway is no longer serving as a driveway, or any curb cut no longer serving as a driveway, that apron has to be removed and the curb restored. So we would be looking for that entire apron to be removed, and then curb installed along the roadway.
Does DPW do that and pay for that, or is the owner saddled with that?
Yeah, it's the responsibility of the owner.
Okay, given that, we'd like to ask for the reestablishment of the green space between the sidewalk and the curb, and the planting of a street tree on that side of the property.
Captain, this is Tony. Portion of you must be talking about the portion. You're not talking about this portion, because that sidewalk is already existing. The other side. You're not talking about Mystery Street, because that sidewalk is already existing. The other side after that section already is going to be a driveway, because there's two driveways entering the sidewalk. I have no problem reestablishing a sidewalk.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can't understand what's being said. It sounds like two people are talking at once. I'm really not following.
Yeah, whoever needs to, please hit mute or use a different set of headphones. It's been echoing the whole time.
I think there's just a feedback on an iPad. That's what.
Can you hear me now?
Well, I can hear somebody with a whole lot of echo.
There is a call-in number if you wanted to call in by phone for sound. It's on the invite.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
I'll call in.
He's going to call in on the number. Oh, the joys of Zoom, everyone.
If it helps anybody, I'm talking about the Maurepas side, and I think that's what Lewis is talking about as well.
Yeah, I think what he was getting to is that there is a driveway. There is a driveway proposed in the in the development to a garage on Morepaw Street, but basically you have to kind of right size that driveway to that garage, and then the rest of the rollover curb, the rest of the old driveway apron would have to be removed, and the curb and the green space, the green strip restored.
Louis, it looks like they have an open air parking space. So that would be like 12, roughly 12 feet. So 20 feet wide. I assume that's what they're trying to do. They're going to park on one side of the garage and plus the garage.
That's
I'm willing,
correct.
I'm willing.
Yeah, so so there's 20 feet. So basically just whatever's remaining basically from that parking space and the garage would be restored. So yeah, it's not much. But you're also going to need to repair that sidewalk in front of basically all that sidewalk on Morepaw Street needs to be brought to a state of good repair. And that's just typical anytime you're doing this kind of work.
Right, that sidewalk is all cracked up and all, and we're only going to need a portion of the property for parking. So I think we kind of anticipated that we would, be making it more presentable.
Yep, just make sure just take out the rest of that apron that you don't need, and next to the pool, and restore that green space. And then we'll be
Right. So you're talking about just the space between the sidewalk and the curb. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then you're putting in the new curb.
Okay, and I'm going to assume that there's enough space. We'll have to check it out, but for the reestablishment of the green space and then planting a tree.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much space is there.
There is approximately I would say, yeah, it's about 12 or 13 feet, and the sidewalk would be 4 feet, 1 foot outside the property line. So if I saw about an 8 foot deep, 7'6" deep green space.
I can wait and see the plans and, work with DPW, and when we have it all in front of us, it's a little easier to see and do. Okay.
What kind of street tree would you want, Tika?
Small. I think you have overhead power lines.
Okay.
All right, but please don't make up where the sidewalk is on Morepaw. Just align it with the next property.
Oh,
Just align it with the existing stuff. Okay.
Of course.
Oh, it has to be said to line it up, evidently. So.
Yeah, there are no rules of thumb. There's just an existing.
Right. I was just saying that off the cuff, generally.
Are there any other comments on item number 1, specific to the awning or otherwise? Hearing none, I'm going to move on to the next item. This is a request for servitude of air and ground rights for steps, railing, landings, ramp, and awning over the North Broad Street and Ursuline Avenue right-of-way adjacent to the 2nd Municipal District Square 343, Lot 21, municipal address of the property 1100 North Broad. Catherine, would you like to give us some background on these several items?
Yes, we are bringing the building up to code into a multi-use building, mixed use rather, building, residential and commercial, real estate office, and one dwelling unit and one private office, and also a garage with another dwelling unit on top of it. Part of that involves ADA accessibility upgrades, which involves a ramp on the Broad Street side with obviously associated railings and steps. And I believe that's the only encroachment other than the awning. Right, the awning exists and it's a terracotta awning, barrel tile terracotta awning right now, but we're replacing it with a more streamlined contemporary design, which you can see in the drawings on the elevation sheets further into the set. So basically the
Okay, well,
awning is above
whether-
the door.
Okay, well, whether or not the awning is included is going to be dependent on a determination from each DLC, whether they consider it to be historic recreation of a historic encroachment, or if it's something new. We'll keep you in the loop as we make that inquiry.
Yeah, we're actually in the HDLC meeting right now simultaneously with this meeting, oddly enough.
Oh my goodness, Tracy, I'm sorry. How did we do this with the timing? Well, that's an issue for another day.
Yeah, they're scheduled to go before the commission, which meets right now. So
Okay.
we'll have an answer as to whether or not the commission approved the work this afternoon.
Okay, well, I was speaking about whether or not the awning is going to be considered historic or not. But I'll ask.
That front awning,
Yeah,
the side. Well, the building as is considered historic. But it's going to be up to the commission to decide whether or not to allow everything to be done.
Okay.
So,
okay. All right. DPW, any comments?
No. The awning height, is,
I'm sorry, but DPW, they're encroaching on the sidewalk, which I think leaves you less than 5 foot clear between the green space. And so that requires a jog in the concrete sidewalk. They don't have the dimensions, but I believe that's what happens.
Thanks,
I was talking
Keeper.
about the awning, but.
Yeah, I was
You
trying
know,
to.
so if you look for the concrete ramp will take up part of your sidewalk.
All right, Dick, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis.
I was trying to figure out how to find my Zoom window here. Yeah. Yeah, the sidewalk is, first of all, this is a encroachment into the state, into a state highway. Okay. So this is state property. But in any case, the sidewalk would have to be widened toward the sidewalk a few feet to maintain. Probably want about a 5 foot clearance from this ramp at least. So what's showing probably would produce, I'd ballpark about a 3 foot sidewalk or so. So you probably need another 2 or 3 feet extended. Now you're not going to be able to do that without rebuilding the whole sidewalk. So that's what we'd be looking at, is removing the whole sidewalk and repouring something to get around the proposed ramp.
Okay, they need to go get a permit from DOTD. Is that accurate?
In order to perform the sidewalk work, what happens is, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean in terms of, okay, so I'll say what I know. The sidewalk work, any sidewalk work is done under a project permit. And the way DOTD likes to handle that is that you get a permit, or basically we at DPW would route the permit on on the applicant's behalf. We would route that to DOTD and obtain that permit. So there's no money involved in the permit. It's a free permit, but they like to have those sidewalk permits come from us. In terms of encroachments into their right of way, that's a whole different issue. I'm not exactly sure how they handle that in terms of building vertical structures. You know, I don't know how they handle stoops really. So I don't know how they handle these ramps either.
Yeah.
We have to work that out.
Catherine, I've got somebody I can put you in touch with on that, with DOTD, that
Okay,
pretty much we can't charge you rent on their property, et cetera, but it's got to go through their process. I'm sorry we didn't catch that when we put this on the agenda. But I will connect you with them, and obviously you're going to need to further connect with DPW, it sounds like, on whatever they may require as far as the sidewalk.
no problem.
Okay, and just on that portion, we'd like to request a street tree, a live oak. I think there should be enough room to plant it right around where your A2 is in the remaining green space, depending on where the jog and the sidewalk works out, if given that is approved.
Okay,
So this is Sewage and Water Board. How far is the new awning that's going to be coming out from the property line?
4 feet,
Okay, and there's an existing awning right now.
correct, and it's also 4 feet.
So what is this going to be, like a permanent frame with fabric?
No, it's gonna be an architectural awning. It's, you know, structural. It's not just fabric.
Okay, and that's not a removable.
No, it's not removable. The one that's there now is also permanent, you know, structural wood frame, although it's in disrepair.
So how far does the existing one comes out?
4 feet, same.
Okay. Okay.
You look at sheet A1 of the drawings, you can see the in red dashed lines. You could see where the existing one was. So you remove existing awning, the note, and it L shapes around.
So there's some frontage of the awning on Ursuline.
Yes, yeah, just the old one and the new one both do that, yes.
Oh, well, that adds a layer of complexity. We would need an air rights agreement for the Ursuline portion if it's not determined to be a historic recreation by HDLC, but I guess we'll just stay tuned on that.
Right, yeah, it'll probably be 4 o'clock this afternoon before we come up.
Okay, well, in that case, then we would be planning to follow up with you on the Ursuline side as needed, but I'm going to refer you to DOTD for the Broad Street side.
Okay.
Any other comments on item number 2?
So is the new awning, I guess the bottom, is it high? It's going to be higher, or is it the same height? I guess the structural
Be
frame.
higher. it's gonna be higher than the existing one.
Okay,
Because the ramp, you know, ascends and it becomes non-functional. If it weren't to be higher, it becomes non-functional with the ramp and the stair, the new finished floor. Because we're raising the entire finished floor inside the building.
okay.
And this one on page 4 would show that height. Is that 7.6?
Above the top of the landing, yeah, right here.
Yes,
Okay.
it's 7'6" clear from the top of the stair landing and ramp landing to the bottom of the awning.
Okay, so the ramp is just on the broad side, not on Ursuline, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions or comments on item number 2? Hearing none, I'm going to move to item number 3, which is the new hotel 204 St. Charles Avenue. I have to confess, Catherine, I was a little confused as to what was going on with this one. Is it a multiple story gallery?
Yes, it is a gallery on all 4 stories of the
Okay.
building.
As shown here on page 6.
Yes.
Is there a detail of the gallery footings?
Well, the structural engineer has been engaged, but we have not actually designed it yet. But what we've done in past projects of this nature on Canal Street, for instance, 2 of them I can remember recently, one is under construction now, is we're doing like very narrow in diameter round footings that go deeper than they would normally because of the proximity to the curb and also to underground utilities. Like a 12-inch diameter sonotube, if you will, you know, reinforced concrete with a helical pile. So that's probably what the engineer is going to end up going with. That's what our past 2 similar projects have done, which is helical piles and round, deep, cylindrical footings.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure they weren't part of the packet and I wasn't showing them. I'm expecting DPW is going to say they need to see those before approval. Do you have some dimensions for the gallery?
Yes. If you look at the floor plan, you will see that.
Okay.
And we would like to get one call out to the site, which we will do, to mark the utilities so we can be more aware of exactly where the underground water lines and sewer lines are, so as to be able to be 2 feet away from them. And if we have to move those gallery columns around, we will, you know. We tried to get that.
Am I looking in the right spot here on the front door, on the front St. Charles
Yes.
fronting?
Yes, you are. And the 3 round dark circles are the columns. And you can see they're 1'6" back from the curb. But there are water lines and sewer lines underground there. But we don't know exactly where. The maps aren't, you know, to the inch. And I've reached out to the Sewage and Water Board department in charge of such things to no avail. I was hoping to have all
Do you have LaJoyce on the phone? LaJoyce, do you have any information on this one?
No, you're saying water lines, is it the house connection? Or is it
I
the,
think it's stormwater. I'm not sure. I don't
because I
know.
see you do have water, so that might be the meters they picked up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think what you're asking about is the storm, where are the storm drains?
Oh, okay.
Where's the drain line?
Okay.
And I mean, that's hard to, I mean, they're always right around the, it's not gonna come up on a one call. But they're always gonna be right there around the curb. Either in front or behind it. But I think you would know that by just looking at the drain manholes on the block.
Okay,
And they're basically right in front of the curb. So not behind the curb.
okay, so they're down in the street.
So it looks like, yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're not in the way.
No, I think you should be okay. I mean, you have to do your one call for the private utilities and such, but.
Yeah, I've reached out to a gentleman named Mike Evans at the Sewage and Water Board to try to get more information, but I have not heard back.
At the, was that the house connection department?
I'm not sure. I was just given the name of Mike Evans by the client's project manager.
Well, like Jennifer said, DPW requires a drawing of the footings stamped by a licensed structural engineer. We don't accept architect stamps for that. So
I wouldn't try it.
so we just need that. And then you're already showing, you're replacing your sidewalk with the DDD brick pattern, the brown and red brick pattern. I'm sure it's what you have in mind, right?
To match.
Correct?
Oh, is that?
I guess so. I'm not sure what was next to it.
Yeah, it's more or less the pattern that's next to it.
Yeah, there was a brick pattern adjacent to it. We would just match that.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So Catherine, can't remember off the top of my head who the applicant is here. I just do want to draw your attention to the change in the law governing encroachments that took place in October. That means if a servitude and lease agreement is entered into with the city, we are going to be following up requesting an annual inspection of the gallery, and to have that inspection report be submitted to real estate and DPW on an annual basis for all new restrictive encroachments. So I know that's somewhat burdensome, but I think we all agree that there is a safety element. And so we just want to make sure everything is gonna, I just want the applicant to be aware that that obligation is, being added to our existing template for this type of encroachment.
Okay, it will happen. We are the applicants, so.
Okay. Great. Does anybody else have any comments on item number 3?
For the house connection, you can department, you can call 585-2164.
Okay.
And if you want to know if that's, I'm not sure if y'all know where the house connections are, but that might be what was picked up in the survey, because I'm showing that the sewer and the water is in the street. So
Okay.
it's on St. Charles, right?
Yes, on St. Charles in the CBD. 200 block.
Any other comments? Okay, so hearing none, I'm gonna quickly go to our fourth item on the agenda, which I think was the election of chair and co-chair. And we'll also be taking a 2-minute recess to review if we've had any public comment. Would anyone like to make a nomination for chair?
Hi, this is
Eva. I'll nominate you, Jen.
I'm not sure we can nominate ourselves, but thank you, Ava.
Oh,
Okay, well,
sorry.
I'll nominate you then. I didn't hear Ava, so I'm going to go with, I nominate Jen.
Second.
Thank you, Tika and Lewis. Would anyone else like to throw their hat in? I doubt it.
By acclamation.
Okay, sounds good. Should we actually take a vote? Again, guys, I'm only going through this because the ordinance said that we had to do it in January. The nomination's been made by Tika, seconded by Lewis. HDLC,
Aye.
Parks and Parkways,
Aye.
DPW,
Aye.
Sewage and Water Board,
Aye.
Safety and Permits.
Jen, this is VCC. I'm back on the call. Sorry.
That's all right. VCC.
Aye.
All right. So Safety and Permits.
Aye.
And do we still have Nord? I think he jumped off. Okay. So 5 yeas. I think that would make me the chair. Would anyone like to nominate a co-chair?
Sure. How about Todd?
I'll
Aye.
second.
Can I decline that?
You're already vice chair of PAC, aren't you?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hey, good news though. I don't think we're going to be meeting this month, so I would be happy to have you as co-chair, Todd.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a vote on it. HDLC,
Aye.
VCC,
Aye.
Parks and Parkways,
Aye.
DPW,
Aye.
Sewage and Water Board.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Todd is co-chair. Okay, we're gonna take our 2-minute recess to check and see if we've had any public comments from the YouTube broadcast or from the agenda, and we'll just come back in 2 minutes and we will vote on the 3 items. Hi, everybody. This is Jen. The 2 minutes are up. I'm not seeing any comments in our public comment box. Ava, did you see any?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, okay, well, we didn't have any public comments, so we're gonna go ahead and just vote and recap what the follow-up requirements are. So with item number 1, I'm gonna make a motion of no objection, subject to further review by HDLC, DPW, and Parks and Parkways.
I'll second.
Okay, taking my motion with second from HDLC, I'm going to do roll call, HDLC,
Aye.
Parks and Parkways. DPW,
Aye.
Safety and Permits,
Aye.
Sewage and Water Board.
Aye.
Okay, a VCC, I guess this is HDC item, so we'll leave that. So Catherine, will be waiting to hear back from HDLC whether that's completed the final review, and from DPW and Parks and Parkways, whether there's a sufficient plan in place to deal with the driveway and the restoration of green space. And in the meantime, Ashley from my office will be following up with you to at least get the process started for the agreement. And you're going to send us an updated plan that shows both the length and width.
Yes, I think we might wait until we can do the curb reduction and the curb cut reduction and the new curb too. I don't know if we'll have time today for all of that, but we'll send you one master revised drawing that has everything pertaining to this meeting updated in it.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, next, moving on to item number 2. This was the item that was primarily the ramp and railings on North Broad, but also had the wraparound balcony on North Broad and Ursuline. Depending on what happens with HDLC, I think I'm gonna go ahead just as to the awning on the Ursuline Street side only, make a motion of no objection, subject to further review by HDLC and Sewage and Water Board.
I'll second.
But
I'm
no,
sorry, could we amend that
Sure.
to include DPW? I
I'm-
mean, because the encroachment is over the right of way on Orleans, right? Not Orleans.
Broad.
Well, there's one on Broad and there's also another section.
Okay.
Ursula.
So
Okay, and I'd like to review it as well.
I will withdraw my previous motion and make it clear that I am bisecting just the awning encroachment on the Ursuline side of the property. Motion of no objection, subject to further review by HDLC, DPW, Parks and Parkways, and Sewage and Water Board. That is just the awning and overhang on the Ursuline side, which is the only thing that I really can deal with as far as an encroachment.
I'll second.
I'm
I don't know that DVW needs any further review on her slides.
Well, the tree needs to be planted on the Broad Street side. I don't know that there's room on the Ursuline side.
I don't think we have room on the Broad Street side to plant the tree once the sidewalk is widened.
Well, I'm not putting it right there. I'm putting it further down. I think there's 50 feet, 40 to 50 feet, but I'd like a chance to review it.
There's also a massive tree existing right there.
There is one, but I think you have enough room, but I don't have the dimensions. So if I'd like to review the plans to see if there is indeed room.
I'm going to send them to you, Tika, directly.
Okay, dokie, if you locate all the trees, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
existing and new. We'll locate.
All right.
Existing
Thank
trees and one new one.
yes, this is Sewage and Water Board. We don't need to further review because it is existing on and it's going to be raised. So
Okay.
well, I mean, there's an existing on in there.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so oh, help me. I'm going to revise the motion to say further review by HDLC and Parks and Parkways. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'm going to now ask everybody to vote. HDLC,
Aye.
Parks and Parkways,
Aye.
DPW,
Aye.
Safety and Permits,
Aye.
Sewage and Water Board.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And as I mentioned before, Catherine, I'm going to give you the contact and follow up because I believe that you will need some permits from the state.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 3. I'm going to make a motion of no objection, subject to further review by DPW and Sewage and Water Board.
Second.
Okay, having been seconded by HDLC, I'm going to take a vote. HDLC,
Aye.
Parks and Parkways,
Aye.
DPW,
Aye.
Sewage and Water Board,
Aye.
Safety and Permits.
Aye.
And I just want to note for the record that CPC was present until 2:30 and had to leave, but said he had no objections to any of the items. Sounds good. It's looking like we're not going to have an agenda for a second meeting in January, so everybody be on the lookout for the February agenda. Oh, Catherine, I know you had a 4th item.
Yes.
That just was Ashley didn't see it, or you still
She
need to
said it
have
was
her.
historic. She said the over encroachment was historic, but of course, we're gonna go through the process with Sewage and Water Board and DPW anyway for underground utilities. I mean, for construction reasons, you know.
Okay,
So we'll be sure to coordinate that, whether
Okay.
mandated to or not. We're gonna have to do that.
yeah, for practical reasons, I
Yeah,
understand. I just want to make sure it wasn't something that we were leaving off the agenda that needed to be
No, she
reviewed.
emailed me separately and said that she didn't put it on the agenda because it was historic.
Got it. Okay.
Was-
She's just copied me. I'm sorry, she's out and she could have said all of this to me before we started the meeting, but she's been out today. So I apologize because I'm asking you. Okay,
No
everybody, have a good afternoon and a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.